From December 20th to December 24th, I had no time to rest whatsoever. It wasn't just that I was busy, I was still in high school then, and my language skills were severely lacking when it came to explaining high-end fountain pens. After all, I hadn't been working in this field long, so I mainly handled warehouse duties, packaging, cashiering, and deliveries. My great uncle, having entered the English Literature Department of Korea's second-best university as valedictorian and graduating as valedictorian, spoke English I recall as being of a remarkably high sophisticated level. While Korea categorizes English proficiency as beginner, intermediate, or advanced, his English was more accurately described as upper-class English. Experiencing my great-uncle's English was astonishing for me, but Holly's English when describing products to customers remains in my memory as an expressive level I rarely encounter even now. It was the language curators use when explaining artworks. Given Holly's major in art, her mastery in this area was simply perfect. Even after majoring in art myself and attending many professors' lectures, Holly's fountain pen curating was equally impressive. Standing in one corner of the gallery, I found myself endlessly captivated, simply mesmerized by this remarkable woman. She would occasionally smile at customers, respond with gestures big and small during conversations, and when a pen, beautifully packaged in a fine box, was handed to a customer, she would watch them leave with a deep gaze, as if sending off a well-nurtured flower. I believe many customers, seeing Holly's expression, likely felt that the item they purchased was truly something special. December 25th was a holiday, and strangely enough, the store after that day wasn't busy at all until December 31st. I was told that was the trend for the Christmas season in the US back then, so we had a lot of free time. With her uncle's permission, Holly and I would walk up and down Lexington Avenue for about 2 hours after lunch, going back and forth, popping into shops whose names I no longer remember to browse. During those 5 or so days we spent together like this, Holly taught me so much about America, especially New York. Born in that affluent part of New York, having attended school in Manhattan all her life, and now an adult, the stories she shared about New York became precious tales I still can't find in any book, documentary, or other person's account. The last day of that year brought heavy snow. It was New Year's Eve, a day when the shop closed at 4 p.m. That day was my last day working there. Since I needed to prepare for school starting in January, we even had a small party at lunchtime. The month had flown by so quickly that the fact I was leaving didn't feel particularly sad. That's probably because this was a place I could visit any time, and I assumed Holly would always be here too. That afternoon, as the snow fell heavier and heavier, my uncle was clearing the snow piled up in front of the shop. Holly and I were next to the counter, gift wrapping one of the items for delivery. Holly went down to the basement for a moment and came back up carrying a small paper bag. As I stared at it blankly, Holly handed me the bag and smiled, saying, "I prepared this for you." Opening it, I found a cassette tape wrapped in pretty paper, labeled Simon and Garfunkel's Greatest Hits.
Ordinary people in New York don't give expensive gifts to each other, but we put our hearts in them.
Thank you so much. I always wanted to try their songs, especially The Boxer.
Try Kathy's song. That's my favorite one.
The lyrics of that song were truly beautiful, but the story was so sad. Looking back after so much time has passed, I sometimes wonder if the lyrics weren't hinting at something like Holly's fate. And as I watch the drops of rain weave their weary paths and die, I know that I am like the rain. There, but for the grace of you go I. She personally put that tape into the Walkman I carried around back then, and she played this song for me. It was truly a beautiful melody. While I listened to the song, Holly sang along beside me. She knew it so well, singing every note and word perfectly with her lovely voice. After the song ended, Holly came up to me. With both hands, those cold hands, she placed them on my shoulders, said, "Happy New Year," and kissed my right cheek. Her scent, her touch, and her breath, all felt in just a few seconds. That feeling I still can't quite describe. Was it like a dream? I probably should have responded to that kiss, but I just stood there, stunned and dazed, staring at Holly. Seeing me like that, she laughed heartily and caressed my cheek once more. And just a few days ago, she gave me that same wistful look I remembered, from when she reluctantly sent off that wrapped fountain pen. And that was how I left my uncle's pen shop, until I returned a few years later, but perhaps too late.